In the heart of the Middle Ages, beneath a grey and watchful sky, lived Martin, a peasant bound to the feudal order. He did not own the land he worked. The land belonged to the Lord, and so in practice did he. At dawn, the church bell cut through the silence and pulled him from his straw bed. He rose from the mud hut he shared with his wife and children, who knew little of life beyond black bread, cold mornings, and the rhythm of labor. He lifted his wooden tools and walked toward the Lord's fields, where he would spend the day bending over soil that would feed another household. His obligations never ended at sunset. A large portion of every harvest was taken as tribute, and when the Lord demanded corvée, Martin had to work the manor's land without pay. He watched the wheat grow tall under his care, and knew that most of it would leave in carts before it ever reached his own table. What remained would keep his family alive, but never comforted. And yet Martin was not a slave in the way a chained prisoner was a slave. He had a small hut of his own, and a narrow strip of land that he was allowed to cultivate for himself. That small possession gave him dignity, though not freedom. He could not leave the village without permission. He could not choose another trade, another master, or another future for his children. They were born into the same burden, expected to carry it, and likely to die beneath it. One cold night, while the wind pressed against the shutters, Martin sat by the fire and listened to the village elder speak of distant towns. There, the elder said, some people lived under laws that did not belong to a lord's whim. They bargained, traveled, and built lives by their own will. The story seemed impossible, almost foolish, yet they stirred a feeling in Martin that labor had never given him. The first quiet hunger for change. The next morning, he returned to the field as always. The sky was the same, the soil was the same, and the Lord's demands had not lessened. But Martin looked at the furrows differently. He no longer saw himself only as part of the land's machinery. He saw a man who could ask why, and who might one day refuse. Such was the life of the serf, silent, burdened, and watched from every side. But beneath the weight of duty, hope could still take root. In the cold fields of the Middle Ages, the first seeds of change were sown quietly, like grain beneath the soil, waiting for the season when they might rise.